Hello, hello, hello. Okay, there. Hi guys, welcome to another Tarcy Talks. It's episode, right? It's episode 27. Just copied that from the last episode. Edited. Let's see. I think I got it right. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, so welcome to another Tarcy Talks. And yep, have another episode. Hi Jed. Okay. So this episode, this podcast, we're kind of uh, honestly considering the audience we're targeting and the audience we're getting, it's kind of hard because I mean this channel is really for high school students, not high students, pero at least in terms of engagement, a lot more people chat are college level, so it's kind of hard, pero still we kind of still want to stick with the high school. I mean, we try to make sure that the topic's relevant for everyone, pero still sticking a bit more closely to our Pisay roots. And now that we're kind of getting close to the start of the school year, at least for Pisay, then the idea for this particular episode is to warm up, get ready for the upcoming school year, kind of make sure that we're well prepared. Uh, pero yun nga, when we were thinking about this episode, or at least a topic, we only came up with it earlier. We're both kind of dry. We didn't know what to talk about. So since we've actually already started a few teacher preps, so some teachers are already attending meetings, preparation for the next school year, conference that's going on, that are attending, and these things already really feel the coming of the school year. So yeah, decided that it would be a good topic. At the same time, we also, or at least I could feel that maybe it doesn't really apply very well to at least the college audience. Those in UP are still ending their summer semester, and a lot of the students that I know in UP did take a summer semester, rather a mid-year semester. It's more commonly known nowadays. Ateneo, we just finished our summer semester, our mid-year, and we're starting enrollment tomorrow. So our first year Ateneans, I think, tama na kayo dun sa enlistment na yun. I think. Yun, wala na kayo. Wala na yung enlistment. Hopefully, I mean, if you're first year, you'll probably get the subjects that you want. The only reason you won't get the subjects that you need are if you're third year. And for those so for those in UP, they're still just about to end. I think mid-September pang start nila. So if ever now is their cool down period, na yung people don't get a break. Lasal, when Lasal is still ongoing right now. Kasi alam ko late September pa yung start ng school year, pero I'm not sure if their third semester is ongoing. Anyway, so this is close to a no topic stream. It's just that we're kind of centering around warming up for the school year. So we'll talk about a few things. Hopefully, chat can then talk about a few things. If you're warming up or if you're cooling down for school, so feel free to kind of. I think Josh was already in the Discord. Heck. Hello? Josh, you there? You're muted.
Hello?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was watching the channel.
Hang on, let me switch to. Yeah, you're on screen. Or at least Hello, Josh, you there?
Hold my breath.
Hey, holding your breath.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It's another week from our last stream. So, hi, everyone. It's good to have you here again. I know we're only five in the chat right now, but yeah. Welcome back. So,
Actually, I don't know. Let me take a really quick look at our analytics. Did we already stop? We're already we're hitting lower numbers recently, so we can justify closing down this, this channel
wow.
soon.
No, it's just I don't know what's gonna happen for today. So
No,
let's see.
honestly, this is close to a kind of no topic stream. It's just talk about warming up for the school year.
Wait, you even gave me a different topic earlier this afternoon.
Did I? What did I tell you?
Yeah, you said talk about tools that
Productivity
could
tool.
help.
Well, I mean, that was kind of like, honestly, we can talk about productivity tools, pero I feel like we can finish that in like 10 minutes.
See how messed up our planning is. I was thinking of something, the whole different thing then. Then I saw the title of the stream. It's so different from what we have in store for today.
I
So
mean, warming up is pretty. It's a really wide uh, topic and fit the earlier what I mentioned earlier na ano yung productivity tools. Pero kasi when I was thinking productivity tools earlier, parang okay, so, uh, notepad, sticky notes, and done
I
talking
get,
about in 5 minutes.
I guess something that we can start off with is that how have you been preparing for the school year, considering that today is the first day for teachers to be on board? I mean to say, this is the start of our work week, regular work. Uh, the reason because is that for the people in chat, if you don't know, teachers also get a summer break, not because dahil walang students, summer break din kami, we don't work, but more of, did I explain this before?
I don't
More
think
of
so.
the more of legal reason is that teachers are not allowed to take sick days off during the school year. I
Not
mean to say,
technically, at least.
even if
But
you're really really sick, we're not allowed to take sick days because what happens is that all our sick days are pulled together to be placed in the summer so that sabay na siya sa days ng walang pasok yung mga students. It's intended so that it's client centric, mean to say it's intended that we target our clients, which are the students, in that scenario that we be able to make sure that we serve our full service is rendered while during the school year. So if you see some of us that are really really sick but going to school, the reason behind it is because we just don't have any sick days.
I mean,
Uh,
that's kind of the technical term. We can sort of take sick days. It's just that you have to make it up. Lang yung ano. You don't get paid, and as Nathan is saying in chat, you don't get paid for days off, or you have to make it up during the summer. Parang you take on a task
oh
you can
no
complete
no
during the
that,
summer,
that's what
or
I meant. In that scenario, that sick days are kasi legally sick days are days that you can take a day off with pay.
yeah. So
You don't call it a sick day if you take a day off and not get paid. That's just an absent without pay. So
yeah,
again,
just
not really sick days.
just to clarify for those in chat, Josh was talking more about the legal terms. Parang, so what is legally defined as a sick day? So if we're sick, then yeah, I mean, especially if there's a danger of infecting students, then we'll definitely take a day off. As for getting paid for it, then that's yeah, there are legal matters that have to be considered. And yeah, we technically can't get paid for it, or you have to make up for it somehow, or we get paid for it. So yeah,
Nathan
that's what it
says,
means.
bad for me to go to school when uh, going to school when sick is bad. Yeah. Oh well. But in that scenario, that's why actually now that all the days for the teachers are done, we're starting a bit earlier. But also the reason behind this so that we can prepare for the start of the school year. But the problem is, well, I guess we start off the question with how have you been preparing for the start of the school year?
Well, I mean, you're asking me, or are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have to attend meetings anyway, so it's kind of doing the preparation for me. Not to mention that I just finished a semester in Ateneo with the mid-year sem. So, and that was just last week. So honestly, I ended last Friday. Check my calendar, my notes. So we submitted our last assignment August 6th, a little more than 1 week ago. So basically, I had 1 week I guess free. Then tomorrow I start enrollment. So, pero classes actually start 26, if I recall. Technically, if we're not counting any trouble that enrollment brings, have a break of 2 weeks, which honestly isn't long enough, I think, to kind of develop the summer habit, waking up late or doing nothing the entire day. I've done plenty of that already in the 1 week that's I've been given, and yeah, uh, but yeah. So for me, preparation for the next school year is kind of facilitated. Pero I guess I kind of wanted to. The reason why I wanted this to be the overarching uh, topic. So discuss things like yeah, productivity tools, mindsets, and all, and preparing for preparing for the school year, especially for those who are still in the kind of summer mood. It does take time to warm up. The class in Pisay starts at September 1. Some of you don't know. Referring to someone I'm talking
We,
to right now.
yeah, no one knows. That's the thing. Well, we only got the schedule of school year activities last week. So yeah, it's one thing that the teachers know, and it's only tentative. I mean to say it hasn't been finalized yet. So even though we schedule everything around it, there's still a chance. Well, there's always a chance that it will change, but we hope that we can get a sort of notice that this is something that you can start working on. So, in relation to that, that's what Mark has been doing for the start of the school year. But for me, the others hand, I needed to prepare in advance because I'll be gone throughout the month of November. So, in that scenario, the day that I got the activity, the plan, the school year plan. That's when I started plotting everything now. Again, I guess I was very anxious to how the start of this school year was because I don't know what's going to happen. We don't have any instructions. We don't have any. I'm not. It's not a slight towards admin or anything, but more on. I guess no one knows what's happening, or no one, or what's worse is that maybe they know but they haven't told us yet. So medyo nakakaba. And the thing is, the reason why you get anxious is because you don't know anything about it. For me, in order to fight the anxiety of, well, the fear of the unknown, is always to try to prepare as much as you can in order to anticipate whatever it happens. So in that scenario, for me, I was trying to right now. What I'm doing is I have plotted everything. It seems like I'll just be only missing two meetings on November because the periodic test, the first quarter periodic exam is on the first week of November. The next week, it's not said. Ang gulo ng schedule eh. It's not said, but the second quarter has 8 weeks, but it doesn't say what the particular 8 weeks. So I'm assuming there's a sobra-sobra kasi yung second quarter when the second quarter exam is on January, on the last week of January. Sorry. No, 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 no. Not last week of January. Yeah, I think last week of January. So in that scenario, as I was plotting, mukhang 12 weeks yung second quarter, but remove Christmas break, remove uh, araw ng araw ng mga patay, All Souls Day, and so on and so forth. It comes out like there's 9 weeks or 10 weeks. So in that scenario, I plotted everything. So I'm assuming there's a buffer week for the second quarter. But yeah,
um,
there's no information. But like right now, I've got plan A to D already plotted out. So what I'm going to do in order to prepare for my absence on November is that I'm already preparing my video lecture for those days that I'm absent. If I'm not allowed to have just a video to be played, like if it needs to be a substitute to sit in my place, then I have a different plan for that as well. But that's what I've been preparing for since just last week when they gave out the thing is I really hope that information would be much faster in order to prepare. But warming up for the school year, yeah, that's I'm just so clueless because there's a lot of questions that are raised on like where it says we are blended learning, but they haven't defined what blended learning is. Eh.
mm,
Have they told you?
nope.
So yeah.
Yeah. Right now, So the thing that I'm attending is no, this conference for across the precise system. It's more of a sharing of different tools, tips, findings from the last year. So as for how this year will be run in terms of ng, uh, any instructions from admin, wala pa naman. Ano? Yeah, so that's not in terms of preparation. It's information, so you can't really disregard it. But at the same time, information that you can't act on, because I mean, okay, you have the theory. It's like ano, I suppose it's like uh, I mean, so this one, so in comsci, parang I can give you 2 hour lectures on how to do a particular thing, but until I actually give you a problem and give you time to code, I wouldn't trust you with anything. Parang I wouldn't believe that you know how to code anything. In fact, I'd rather give you the actual problem first and then bahala na kayo mag-search sa internet ng mga different resources niyo para how to solve it. I trust the practical application more. So now I feel kind of like that. Na parang uh, there was a time, ano, did I ever tell you that in my first year of teaching, they were shuffling around the rooms a lot. So batch 2018 Strontium, I was meeting them 3 times a week, but there was one meeting in which Strontium did not have access to a room with computers. So I just had a whiteboard, and that was it. I'd have to teach them. So I had to specifically plan my lectures that it would land on that day. Otherwise, wala silang magagawa. I think eventually, nagkaroon sila ng computer doon sa room na yon. Pero walang internet. So parang very limited pa din yung magagawa nila. Parang, I mean, they can still technically code. I was teaching them HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So all they really needed was Notepad, a browser. They didn't really need internet. Pero parang as soon as they uh, had to search something, wala. So,
Katrina says, code in your mind. But for the people in chat, well, for the teacher here, the com sci teacher, is it fun to teach? Is it okay? Could you make it fun to teach? No, no, no. Ito lang. Is it fun to teach com sci without computers?
no. I mean,
Okay, now for the people in chat, is it fun to learn com sci without the computers? Is it possible for the students to learn to code
I
without?
mean, you know that it was going around the internet one time. Parang a school in Africa. There's a teacher trying to teach about Microsoft Word, and he didn't have a
Oh,
computer, so he drew it on a blackboard. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was definitely impressive, pero parang yun nga until you actually get to apply it, parang it's really hard to internalize.
It's
Okay.
just gonna be science, but no computer. That's sad.
Anyway, so I was thinking, other things that we can talk about is, but okay, yeah, the reason why, at least I thought it would be good to bring this up now, or rather, because for Pisay at least, you guys still have 2 weeks of summer vacation. For Ateneo people, you still have 1 week. For UP, I mean, you're ending, so in the future you'll have like I think 2-3 weeks of summer, hirap ngayon na hindi magkasabay-sabay yung mga school. I think there are even schools who are already starting today. Parang most high schools I think are starting today. Or some schools. I heard FEU is starting today. Not sure if there's a Pisay who went to. But at least for Pisay, for those of you who have spent the last how many months resting and recovering from hopefully you had a lot of time to recover. Some of you I know had to go through your habol pa during summer ng mga recs and modules and maybe bridging material that you had to cover. So hopefully you did have enough time to rest and recover. Uh, yes, you still have 2 weeks before you even have to think about school, I suppose. But at the same time, I think now is a kind of good place to kind of yeah, start warming up. Kasi if you hit the school year and you're still in summer mode,
Di ba pwede
lalo,
like what Bianca said in the comments, surprise na lang.
surprise na lang. I mean, yeah, you can do definitely do that. You're free to do that. Pero I mean, don't don't be surprised if may
If you get overwhelmed.
if you get overwhelmed, if you parang yun nga, I mean, for example, it's like it's like pretty much a lot of things. You can't just suddenly shift gears and expect that everything will work out well. If you're going to exercise after months of not exercising, after years of not exercising, you can't just suddenly belt out 2 hours of intense exercise. And
Oh,
why are
why
you
is it
reacting like
always
that?
you're slighting? I always feel like you're making a slight against me or something. Why am I always an example in your example?
Ano kang you're too sensitive. I'm not talking about you. Okay. Pero I mean, if you feel like you need to make improvements to you, to your current schedule, feel free to do so.
Recent.
Let's see.
Oh, well, I guess it's a battle of the saying of out of sight, out of mind, and the other saying which is um the I forgot the other one. Well, it's always should you rather have the belief of out of sight, out of mind, or prepare as early as you can? Because the problem is when you prepare as early as you can, you know that problem is there, and it's just looming over you until day one of uh class starting.
Hmm.
As opposed to someone that is out of sight, out of mind, at least they're refreshed or feel fresh when they get to school. How would you say about
I
what's your
mean,
comment about that?
it's like a lot of things. It's always about kind of balancing things because it's kind of like so the thing being balanced here is kind of like of course if you're let's say no, what's the right term here? It's not exactly responsibility, but let's start with responsibility. Let's use that as our starting point. So responsibility, obviously, if no, parang you want to be responsible, and there are pros and cons of either being too responsible, too responsible, or lacking responsibility. Yeah, I can't think of the right word because too responsible doesn't sound like it's going to be a negative. Okay, but so on the one end, you're like the major prepper na parang you never had a break na pagkatapos pa lang ng school year last year you're already prepping for the next school year, you're looking up material online. Of course that's not healthy. On the other hand, there's the people na okay, tapos na,
Why
out of
not?
sight.
Why is it not healthy? Why are we just accepting it as a fact that that's wrong?
Kasi I mean, uh fact, the idea is you're kind of ano ba why are we is it a bad thing that so are you saying that you would recommend students to
But we have to understand why is it a bad thing.
yeah, yeah.
So are we going to adopt the phrase too much of something is bad?
No, the thing is, I wouldn't really say it's a bad thing. It's just that normally it has undesired side effects, which yeah, parang yeah, you're prepping, so that obviously involves some kind of stress.
Yeah.
So and obviously if you're prepping a lot, the stress increases in proportion. So which is why a medium amount is good so that you're preparing, that you're kind of looking up a few things, maybe saving some links in a particular file or pero you're not like enrolling in 5 online courses in preparation for the next school year na parang okay, I'm going to be learning you were grade 9 student and going to grade 10, you heard na okay, we're going to learn Java and comp sci next year, so you enrolled in two different online courses in Java and so on and so forth. I mean, take references, maybe look up something. Pero, yun nga, parang, it's always, I mean, we bring up honesty a lot here and it's also a matter of being honest of what you can actually handle. So there, and it's actually kind of hard because sometimes you say, no, kaya ko pa, kaya ko pa. Um, I remember, I actually remembered. You remember the first time we did the fun run?
Which one was that? I can't remember. I've gone to several, but which was the first?
I think I remember that we do the 5K or the 10K. So I remember, it was me, you, and was Nathan also part of it? Nathan, you're in chat. You remember? So I remember us joining a fun run.
We
Uh,
did?
yeah, yeah. Okay, here's the Parang let me jump to kind of like the joke.
Okay, the story.
Um, no, I'm going jumping straight to the joke. So during the fun run, I made the wrong turn, and I was basically parang it was so it's kind of like a loop, a loop. So you
Uh-huh.
run along a road, turn around, and then I turned early to one road. So basically, I was off track. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
had the bib saying that I was part of fun run, and then I think at that point I was so tired that I didn't really notice that there was no one else wearing a bib around me. And then I eventually
How
found
do
my
I
way
not
back.
know this?
I'm
How
pretty
do I
sure.
know some about it
Anyway,
though?
yeah, you're there. You nandun din yung you were high school. Nandun yung teacher mo. Uh,
Oh, it's Red Cross. Must have
Ayun,
been a
yan.
Red Cross one.
Kasi
Ah, okay,
parang
okay, okay.
I remember you saying the next day na parang your teacher talked to you the next day and then she was saying na parang checking in on you kasi she couldn't really parang walk very well, parang pagod na pagod pa siya sa
I don't remember this. Oh my gosh. High
It
school
was
was a
yeah,
long time
it's
ago.
it's a Red Cross thing definitely.
Yeah. Okay, okay. How do you
Anyway,
relate that to
so
I think everyone's
I,
confused how you're relating that to this.
I'm bringing this up kasi I remember parang on the car ride back, Papa was talking to us and saying that the one that he was worried about in the fun run was me. I think the three of us joined. So me, you, and
Okay.
Nathan. So I think Nathan took the 3K, and we took 5K. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it. And then parang sabi daw out of the three of us, the one that Papa was worried about was me. Kasi parang yung worry niya is parang uh, being kind of stubborn. Parang I have this image of what I think I can do. So parang he was worried that I might push myself beyond what I can actually do. So basically, me not being honest with myself of what I can actually accomplish. Even saying he doesn't remember doing a fun run. So maybe it was Papa. Maybe Papa did the 3K. Maybe. Yeah, I think it was Papa. So Papa did 3K. The two of us did 5K. Basta alam ko, someone did shorter.
Really? Hmm. Okay, okay.
But yeah, so uh, honesty with yourself is pretty hard because sometimes we have an idea of what we're able to do. We have this ideal of ourselves na, okay, parang it's just a matter of willpower. It doesn't matter na, okay, parang, okay, school starts in 2 weeks. Okay, I'll enjoy myself for the next 2 weeks. And then once school starts, okay, school mode na ako. I'll do all of my assignments on the... But no, you have to, you kind of have to have an idea of what you can actually do and kind of work yourself up to it. Na parang, same with exercise. Na parang, I remember the first time so I stayed before in a center that had a gym. So there were weights and so on and so forth. And I said, when I moved into that center, I said, okay, I'll start working out regularly. So in the first day that I started working out, I didn't even really have a plan. I kind of just went into the room and then did all the exercise that I knew and 4 sets of everything. The next day, I could barely get out of bed. As in, so I had done normally when you exercise, you kind of focus on one part at a time. But on that day, I was so gung ho about it. I did everything. So I did arms, shoulders, legs, etc., etc. So the next morning, I tried getting out of bed, and so I guess there are generally two ways to get up from bed. Either push yourself up, or you kind of sit up into a sitting position. I think I tried sitting up first. I tried sitting up. No, couldn't do it. I had exercised. I had done too many abdominal exercises the day before that. I had completely tired myself out. Okay, so I can't get up that way. Rolled myself around, tried pushing myself up. Yep, nothing. I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't get up. I had also done a lot of push-ups the previous day and without really warming up to that level of exercise. Yeah, I couldn't get up. So I had to roll myself out of bed. As in, I mean, if I couldn't sit up and if I couldn't push myself up off the bed, only thing I could do was roll off. And I was in pain for like almost a week. As in, yeah. Uh, oh yeah. Warm up is definitely no matter what you're doing, you kind of have to warm up to. Don't of course definitely willpower definitely is kind of like the clincher at the end. Na parang you can decide what it is that you're going to do. But yeah, going in cold turkey is not exactly a good one of the better way to do things. So okay, some suggestions I think for those who are going to be warming up for school, or for those who are going to end the school year and or rather the semester, especially for those in UP, are going on break. So some, I don't know. So I guess this would be my recommendations on how to warm up. So one of the warm ups, I suppose, is the whole getting up thing. Maybe having at least a waking up schedule and a sleeping schedule. So, and yeah, if you've gotten used the past few months to sleeping at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and waking up just before noon, maybe past noon, and maybe uh, this is now the time that you can start uh, having a proper schedule, at least for wake up. Uh, for those who are about to, then definitely you can. For those who are about to end their, I'm talking to UP people, are about to end their SEM. I mean, hopefully you've been kind of keeping up to a relatively loose sleeping schedule. You try not to stay up too late. Of course, you have homework you have to do, assignments that you have to finish. Then, yan naman na get kayo. So yeah, I mean, this is your chance to kind of like loosen it a bit, pero try not to kind of go wild na parang just drop everything entirely. So yeah, I mean, sleep more definitely, but in,
But
I don't know. What's the longest you've ever slept? Like parang
22 hours. But
because
I just got from I just got back from training that day, so
yeah.
I was super tired. So justified.
I mean, personally, I've never had too much trouble with oversleeping. My stomach starts to hurt if I've been laying down for 8 hours or more. So I have to get up. Not because I'm hungry. Parang I don't know. Parang I'm not you. I, I'm not sure. Something my stomach tells me na it's uncomfortable already to be in bed for more than 8 hours. I've never really had a problem of staying in bed too long. But yeah, I mean, for those who are going to bed, uh, definitely sleep a bit more. Take this chance to rest more. Pero try to set some reasonable hours. For 9 hours, 10 hours. Is 11 good? But You say 11. I mean, it depends on the person, I suppose. But try to be honest about what you need.
And Bianca says, sana all walang problem with oversleeping.
I mean, it's, honestly, I don't think it's more of a problem over. I mean, I have overslept my alarm, parang at times. Uh, it's more of uh, ano ba? And honestly, it's rare that I actually have a chance to sleep more than 8 hours. So it's not normally an issue. And if ever that does happen, so yeah, parang, am I lucky? Is it good that I have stomach pains when I sleep more than 8 hours?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, another thing that I think and recommend that I kind of do is uh, see, I think I'm trying to think of why it's so hard for people to. I mean, there's no doubt online learning is difficult. It's not. I would go so far as to say that it's not the way that people are meant to learn. It's supplementary, parang a last resort. But I mean, people learn through contact, people learn through and given the very, I would say, impersonal nature of online learning, it's hard to get engaged. In-person learning is normally that means of facilitating engagement. So, yeah, I'm trying to think of so based.
It's no, go
Yeah.
go.
So, parang I was thinking, okay, how do we get people more motivated about online learning, or parang what's missing? What makes people motivated to do things, and then when it comes to learning, they're not motivated anymore. And then one thing that I thought of, at least in the scope of parang what makes people motivated, what makes not, is a sense of progress. Kasi especially
Uh,
with online learning, parang learning itself is already kind of hard to see progress, especially depending on what you're studying. So especially, for example, I teach CS4, Java programming, and normally it's a long time before you're actually able to make an actual application. Parang it's actually a year-long project. First, second, quarter, you're just working on small snippets that seem, they don't seem practical. And then pagdating na third quarter, that's when you're actually building something that you can see, that you can interact with. So, ang tagal na build up. So parang it feels like the payoff is too long. And I guess the reason why games are so popular is because progress and improvement is pretty easy to track. You have levels, you have achievements, and all of these things. So, it's at the end of the day, you see that, okay, I've been able to get this achievement, I've completed the task, and so on. So, it feels pretty good. I remember another thing, a more physical representation of this. In the old center that I used to live in, the garage would get flooded pretty often. And when it got flooded, the entire floor would be pretty much covered in mud. And I remember that parang I remember being someone mentioning to me or thinking na someone mentioned to me they noticed that as soon as ang bilis ko daw maglinis ng garahe pero yung kwarto ko hindi ko parang hindi ko nililinis parang I mean my desk is messy and all of these things and there's a lot of stuff in my room na hindi ko inaayos but as soon as mabaha yung garage I'm out there parang within 15 minutes with the hose in hand and already start cleaning. And I remember trying to think about, okay, parang bakit nga? Kasi, I mean, cleaning the garage is definitely a lot more work compared to cleaning my room. But I realized that part of the reason was because, so when I say that the garage was dirty, I mean, it was really dirty. So we lived, the center was in a pretty low place. The flood would actually reach up to my height. So that's how high the mud line was. And the entire floor was covered in mud, as in parang it would be really a black, brownish mess. And I'd go out there just armed with the hose, na ako lang. I didn't even wait for the others to help out. And then slowly start drawing lines with the hose na parang, okay, from one side, ipitin ko yung dulo and then start cleaning up all the way, parang line by line. And I realized that the reason that I liked it so much, or parang I appreciate, parang I was so willing to clean the garage, was because that the different, parang super clear yung progress. Parang I had I start with a very, very dirty garage, and I know that after a few hours of working on it, malinis na malinis. And parang even during, parang you can see the progress na parang there's this white, well, not really white, it's concrete. Ano? Pero this clear line that I had just cleared with the hose. And yun nga, parang progress. As opposed to my room, parang okay, I'll probably tidy it up. Then within 2 days, 3 days, it's going to be messy again. I have to clean it up again, and so on and so forth. So parang, where's the progress going? Do I have to keep it clean that way all the time? I mean, I guess I should, pero that would be the better option. The idea that you can see something getting finished and that it's clear that you're making progress. Yeah, that every line that I draw with that hose, I'm slowly finishing cleaning the garage. It feels good. As opposed to cleaning my room. I mean, I'm the only one who sees it anyway. I'm used to it, so and it's going to get dirty again. So uh, it's hard to it's hard to motivate yourself to do it, even though you know that it's probably technically easier than and probably something that I have more business cleaning than the garage. Because cleaning the garage was actually like a 3-person job, but I'd be so gung ho about it that by the time that the other two checked in on me, I'd be done. So, but yeah, so and in this respect, I guess okay. So for example, right now, I kind of didn't want to pull down too much from the end of the mid-year up at Ateneo. I actually enrolled in a few online courses sa edX and sa Udemy. Honestly, I just kind of went for anything. I just didn't want to pull down. And so in terms of keeping progress, so rather than measure myself against how much I learn or how much I'm able to do after, it can kind of be it can be kind of a hit or miss. Parang, sometimes you put in a lot of effort, pero it's still you don't feel like you've learned as much. So sometimes it's a matter of what are you measuring. So in terms of, I mean, if it's video games, you're measuring levels, you're measuring experience points, you're measuring achievements, and those are easy to get. Or rather, they're clear to get. But when it comes to things like education, parang okay, parang you can say that grades are your goal, pero that's not fully under your control. So what you can measure is, so always set your goals to something that you have under your control. So after I take those online courses, I can't say that I'm going to be an expert on all of these things. So I'm taking a course on agile development, software engineering, taking a course on Android development. So I mean, after that, I can't really say that I'll know how to make an app. I mean, hopefully I do. But I can measure myself against hours I put in studying, modules completed. So regardless of how, those are things that I can control. And for those of you who once the school year starts, parang kasi grades it's not, I mean, you can say that you have some control over the effects, pero it's not fully under. What you do have control over is your study hours, your parang how much effort you put into it. So those are things that you have under control. So it's better to have those as your benchmark, even though they're kind of vague, those compared to others. Anyway, parang uh, What else can I think of?
Maybe let's go to the analogy to it. More on to help others understand this. In a smaller level, try to look for things that you can easily find the progress in. It's very like what Mark said with when it comes to studying. It's harder to see the progress because you don't get to feel the progress that much, as opposed to like where when Mark was cleaning the garage, he can see it visually. When you let's say weight loss, you're trying to go for exercising for weight loss, you can see the scales changing for better or for worse, but at least it's changing. You see something what you need to do. It also happens when in games, yes, you level up, you progress, not only in MMOs where you level up, just level up and level up, but also in storyline. You try to get closer and closer to the end of the story. So in that scenario, you see these things as visual, or you know what you're trying to set for. Now, why is it so much harder for education? Well, like what he said, is because we don't get to see it or we don't get to apply it that much. That's why we tend to not appreciate it that much, I guess. Same goes for I guess same goes for me when in law school. I tend to hyper focus on one particular topic that I can master that topic. But when we move on to another topic, I hyper focus on that topic. Then the next topic I hyper, but I fail to interconnect all of those topics and then realize that all of them are related with one another. And then later on, all the other subjects are interrelated one another. So it's harder if you tend to see things at the micro level without understanding it at the macro level. It has to be done simultaneously, which is hard, but you have to start it at some way. So I guess goal setting is for me. What Mark was saying, his tip was uh, I forgot what his tip was. It was all over there. But for
Yeah, yeah.
my tip for you is that maybe try to set a time for you for goal setting. For me, I always try to set my goals uh, aside from not the New Year's resolution kind of one time, big time at the start of January 1, this is what I'll be doing. But that helps. But I also do uh, weekly preparations and daily preparations. What I do is like I'd set a day where I'd plan my the rest of the week, know what I want to happen, and then those are the things that I want to make sure I hit. I tend to try to finish everything on the first day of the week so that the rest of the days I'm done. Okay, that's good. I meant it helps. But I also try to set goals on separate on dailies as well. The thing that I fail to set is the ones that are done on a monthly or a yearly basis. We're in, or let's say a quarterly basis where I have to do something that's long term. And it's something that I have to still work on myself because I tend to short gratification whenever I do something. I'm happy that I get to see it done immediately. But if it's long term, I tend to Nakatamad siyang gawin kasi I feel like I can do it later on at the end of the pag malapit na matapos. So you have to try to figure out how do you get that short gratifications into that long gratification. Something is you have to try to break it down into smaller things so that it builds up to that bigger thing. I can't comment on that because I'm still working so much on it. It's a work in progress on my part, but um, it's something that I hope could be a good tip for those for anyone here in chat. Mark,
Hmm? Ay, ano?
you.
Hindi, I mean, yun nga, parang
I
I was
felt that
thinking,
you needed a break from what you were talking, so I
yeah, yeah.
I plugged this for you.
Thanks for the
See,
save.
this is what happens when Mark doesn't
Hmm?
plan for the stream.
I
He
mean,
tends to he tends to talk a lot. If you noticed earlier, I was just "Ah, di na ako makasingit eh." But yeah, I hope you were able to follow the train of thought though.
I mean, I technically don't plan. or no, actually, I at least kind of set a mental map of for a stream. Pero this one is just kind of a big umbrella. So
We have
let's see.
viewers to think about. This is I mean, we might be a variety show. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, some of them might be tuning in to hope to get something.
Really, students do that for us.
I hope so. I meant, if not, is it just a comedy of us two that they're waiting?
I mean, honestly, I'm okay with that, even if it's just a comedy. Just yeah, hopefully they're also picking up a few things along with the comedy. Um, the other warm ups for uh, there's the scheduling thing about setting kind of visible achievements for yourself. High school, what did I have trouble? It's like people. I have I have trouble with school. I don't think I had trouble with school. Only time I failed was
Wow.
no. I mean, not. I have troubles, but it's kind of like the usual. And even academically, I think the lowest I ever got was a 7.5 case or Petri. Pero okay, I'm checking Reddit for topics. At least we can talk about for the last few minutes.
Oh, we're so sorry. Oh, by the way, Luke wanted to ask if he can borrow an episode for an art stream. So,
As in, he's going to spend the entire time drawing, or
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I don't mind, pero my our
something
audience.
relaxing for our something relaxing for our audience.
I
So,
feel like
we want to
is
say
it?
like Bob Ross, but Tarcello brother. That's what's gonna happen in one of our episodes. Should we choose
I
which
feel like
episode it would be?
I feel like Luke has a larger audience than us, though. Parang based on his, maybe his Instagram or Facebook.
That's how we get their audience to our audience. Just kidding.
I don't mind. Let's see. Got Reddit threads. Actually, do you go through Reddit? As in for the teachers Reddit or the students Reddit,
No, I go to Reddit for the topics that I really like Metal
such
Gear,
as
the games that Metal Gear,
right?
uh, D&D, D&D maps, Call of Cthulhu.
Okay,
But
parang
these are things that help me enrich what the communities are talking about now. Because it's one thing that you enjoy something, but the way how you uh, understand a certain content is very different from how other people understand it as well. So it's good that it's about your horizon, right? Trying to see how they understand where they're coming from. How do they put their culture into it? How do they see their perspectives into it? So for me, that's what Reddit is. Also the creepy pastas, but that's another thing.
and teaching and the student that doesn't kasi yeah.
That's work. I mean, we
No,
get a lot of training already from work.
no, okay. When I uh the
Broadening my horizons about what students think, I just go on Twitter. Why do I have to go to Reddit?
honestly, actually, now that I think about it, most of the reason that I follow the teachers subreddit is because
You don't want to go on Twitter.
no, it's more parang finding comfort in shared misery. Na parang at least in the teachers subreddit right now, there's a lot of parang stories na parang troubles, and it's definitely bad that there's so much trouble, but at the same time, parang the same.
For
I can
me,
relate. I can relate to it. So
okay. For me, I guess. Okay, yeah. I don't want to try to. I don't want to say tame. I want to keep my teaching experience pure. I don't want to say as me as possible. Although it helps that I learn from others. Like I'm, I'm going against what I said earlier about broadening my horizons and everything. But um, as much as possible, if I can try to keep the way how I teach, if it's effective that way. But yeah, I guess you're right. It doesn't hurt to try to broaden what other perspectives can have. But so boring. Something that I've gotta read something about work related. It's just I guess
I
so.
I mean, they're actually, I mean, there are a few feel good stories on the students Reddit. Actually, I find the student Reddit a lot more informative, but I don't follow the
Twitter,
subreddit because
on Twitter, it's
no,
more
no.
local.
I mean, there's students PH, so parang that's still. Pero I feel like I don't want to. Say if I go on Twitter, then I know who's the one saying it. I feel like
uh, okay,
I'm
okay.
better off
I
than.
get what you're not knowing. That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, yeah, I do get what you're saying. Hmm. Okay.
Again, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Uh, okay.
For
So,
the weather. Well, Tarcy checking. Oh my gosh, it's that long. Anyways, for the weather, in I always tell you guys that try to prepare as much as possible so that it lessens anxiety. Again, anxiety is fear of the unknown. It helps in order to prepare yourself. Try to equip yourself with as much knowledge as you can. So one thing that could help you for this week is knowing what the weather is. As simple as that. It can help you understand how you go about your daily routine. So in this scenario, for those that might be exercising outdoors, although it's prohibited, um, you might want to reconsider by looking at the week this week because although today was a kind of sunny day, we're gonna expect throughout Wednesday. Oh, sorry, this is for Quezon City weather. If you notice, Quezon City has its own weather as opposed to Manila, Makati, and so on and so forth. I used to go to Manila for my college, and it was such a drag because Manila and Quezon City had its own different weather system. Bahas, umuulan na malakas at baha sa Quezon City, and I'm hoping na walang pasok. But when we get to Manila, it's dry, really, really, really dry. So sucks. But yeah, it helped me prepare. So, anyways, for Quezon City, hopefully, this might apply national as well. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll be expecting rainy season. So, rainy weather. So, if you're running out of clothes, do your laundry now and tomorrow because it's gonna be hard to get it dry. So that's the weather. Should I also be should there be a mini me also there on the screen? No.
no, that's that's fine. Okay, I think I'll do for this episode. Um, see. For next week, yeah, probably another but I'll try to think more about the content for the episode. But again, feel free to kind of suggest if you want us to talk about a particular thing, any concerns about the upcoming school year. I'm sure you have a lot. So yeah.
Oh, wait. How do you do
But
it? No, sorry, go ahead.
anyway, so yeah, feel free to mention a topic if you want us, or if you want us to react to something. Maybe I don't know.
Wait,
Uh,
that's it? I thought you were
but
going to suggest tools. But
those
that's what we were preparing for the whole. You told me to prepare for the something.
I told. No, okay. Admittedly, I
Okay.
told you. Wait, let me read the message. Let me read. I'm gonna hang on. So sabi ko asa na yun? Where's that? Uh, yeah. So September. Okay. So I suggested review productivity tools and techniques. And oh wait, sabi ko, where's that? I said warm up episodes. So, might be good to make warm up episodes. And then I give an example, review productivity tools and techniques. And then sabi mo, okay.
Exactly.
And then sabi ko, or something like that because past episodes were more songs. So parang that was just an
Yes.
example.
Anyways, okay. Here's one thing that we could suggest to you. There was this one app that helped Sir Tarcy try to visualize his tasks or more on his habits that help him see and try to. It was a productivity app that helped him try to practice his habits more so that it would be formed as a permanent habit for him.
Google
And
Sheet.
he really loved no, really Google Sheet. He really loved D&D during this time. So what he did was he downloaded a certain app which is called yes.
I actually had multiple types of apps like that. Which one are you talking about?
Okay, talk about them all because I didn't. That's your segue.
Hang on, there. Can't remember what the name of the app was.
Could you
Uh,
describe what the app was?
app,
Okay, for
habits.
while he's looking for it, the description of the app is that what he would do is he would set up tasks that he would do for a week and a sorry for a day and a weekly basis. And in that scenario, every time he accomplishes a task, he gets a level up. So he sees a little character on him that gets to level up, gains new spells, gains new armor, gains gold, and then it helps him explore dungeons later on. It's in that small mini app. There's another app that I've seen from 20 batch 2019. Sorry, yes, batch 2019, from Alisa Guevara. I was so weirded out that she had her phone beside whenever she would study, and it was an app that it grows trees. Oh yeah, yeah. There, Katrina said, Habitica. So what happens is that it locks out all the functions of your phone except for the necessary ones that you can select which are necessary for your learning. And then it's a forest. Then every time you lock your phone or you don't touch your phone, uh, it helps a tree grow. And the trees that grow, it puts it into a forest, your own forest, and you get to see how much how much trees you've actually grown. So in that scenario, although medyo mababaw, it's something that it's for you. Like I was saying earlier, how do you find that things that makes you engaged from the short-term goals to the long-term goals? If it's visual, look for apps that helps you see your progress visually. If it's something maybe spiritual, mental, or so on and so forth, look for those things that can also help you understand the progress of what you're doing. You have to understand that every action that we do always have an equal reaction. No, no, uh, has a consequence. Now try now if the consequence is good or bad, you have to figure out where do you put it. So sleeping in for more than 8 hours, good, bad, it's really up to you on how you see it. Does it help you get a better sleep, restful sleep for that day? In order for you to prepare for something maybe later on that day, like a big event that you need to stay up longer. So in that scenario, try to see what are these things that help.
Okay,
I
on it.
remember at the start of at the start of the quarantine, I had this health app that tracked my sleeping habits, and it shows that every time I pick up my phone, it breaks my sleep at the night. And I realized why I was so miserable every time I attended my classes was because I only had a consistent 3 hour night sleep. Like at the middle of the night, I would get up and do something. I can't remember what that do something was. Like, would I go to the bathroom or would I play on the PlayStation or something? But I had to figure out what my problem was. Also, that data was something that I was able to show to a doctor that helped me understand what's happening with me. So there are a lot of things that are you have to understand every action that you do, there's a consequence. So again, good or bad, try to figure it out and sort them properly. Okay, Mark.
Yeah, so the RPG one was Habitica. So yun yung
What?
sabi ni Katrina. The
Oh, okay.
the one that you said that Alyssa uses is Forest, focus timer
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah, first.
productivity. So uh, yeah, I mean there are a lot of productivity apps. So if you just want to the simple Pomodoro timer, is that yeah, if you need more gamification, then there's Habitica. There are actually quite a few. I think there's another one that's Level Up. Parang it already comes with pre-made tasks that you can do. You can just kind of choose which achievements that you want to select. Level Up Habit Trainer, I think, is one of them. So yeah, there are a lot of things that you can choose. Mm, but I mean, there are also the other usual ones. People use Notion. People use other.
Notion. Well, yeah, that's another story I have about Notion. Well, I was supposed to use Notion to help me study, separate my work from my studies, so that I can see them visually as well. Uh, but I was kind of dumbfounded, like because there's a lot of things that I didn't understand. Then, a student of mine back then, alumnus right now, uh, told me that I didn't have to go try out Notion. Everything can actually be done by Google. Kaylin actually taught me how to integrate everything into my Google Calendar. So and so on and so forth. Because I had a problem with integration back then. Uh, Chia was able to help me step by step through it. So yay! My life got kind of fixed after that. But yun,
And yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like the students more know a lot more about different productivity tools. So they use Trello, they use ano ba? Actually, I learned about Trello from the students years ago. But yeah, these next few weeks might be a good to kind of like figure out which ones you want to use and for what do you want to use them. Yeah, do you want to use it exclusively for school? Do you want to include some personal goals and some personal habits that you want to improve on? So those are also can work on. Okay, I'm I told you it would only last like 10 minutes. That's why the general umbrella was warming up for the school year.
you can see the different personalities in this scenario and how we prepare for the stream. Mark can actually go throughout the whole stream and just thinking about it or just low key about it a few minutes before the stream. Me, I tend to panic a lot that I need to prepare a whole week's worth before the next episode. But
I
we're
mean,
both learning.
you remember? I remember telling you that the main content really of this channel is us talking about something, and we
I want to
normally
talk
talk.
about games.
I will have another gaming stream soon. You have to look for the
Uh,
people though.
Anyways, so yeah, how have I been preparing for the school year? Ta-da! This is my ECQ. It only started during ECQ.
Okay, if that's, I mean, honestly, parang uh, I know a lot of students nag-long, parang they use the quarantine as a really excuse, pero the opportunity to
Get longer
wait,
hair.
yeah, parang did they want to get longer hair or parang tinamad lang sila?
Go to Twitter, you'll find out the reason.
Honestly, I still can't handle long hair, partially because when my hair gets longer, it just grows out. It doesn't fall down. So I
Please,
end up with
everyone, 50 likes on this video, and we will
no,
see a Sir
no,
Tarcy in a mullet. Come on,
Ugh.
kaya.
No, definitely not. Not even with 15 likes or more. Uh,
Anyways,
yeah, super uncomfortable. All right. So anyway, that's it for this week.
that's for this week.
Um. Yeah.
We're
Again.
2 weeks, 2 weeks until until start of school year.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, right?
Yep, 2 weeks until the start of Philippine school in Philippine science. Supposedly, again, that might change. But
1 week in this ECQ.
yeah, hopefully next week, again, try to give us topics, even if it's something to react to. Give us a video, give us an article, something that you think we can comment on. Uh, yeah. Uh, Otherwise, you'll just get more rambling. Which I don't know. Maybe you don't mind that too much, pero we do kind of want to give you something, some content. So worst
Oh,
case,
I just found out that Pokemon Unite is free. So maybe it's something that we can try out sometime.
you're really up for a gaming gaming stream, no? Parang,
Anyway, so thank you everyone. We hope to see you again next week. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Okay.
like, see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye everyone.